Hello, welcome back to my channel. For this video I'm doing a full face of Freedom makeup. Freedom is one of my favourite brands. It's super affordable and I honestly think they have really good quality products. And in my last first impressions I bought quite a few more products from them, so I had enough to do a full face. So that is what we've done in this video, and I think I achieved quite a natural look, which I quite like. I didn't have any eyeliner on for a change, which is great. I honestly really do like this finished look. So let's get into it. I'm starting by priming my face with the Pro Studio priming water, and I look really weird when I do this because I cannot do this glamorously like all the other beauty gurus can, but I try. And now I'm going to do my eye makeup. So I'm starting with the Pro Camouflage Concealer in CF01, and I'm just smearing this all over my eyelids to create a base and just blending it in with a sponge a little bit. And I'm going to set that, and I'm using the Banana Powder 01, which is one of the Pro Artist refillable ones, and I'm just setting all of that concealer in place with that powder. And now I'm using the contour shade. This is the 02, I believe, another one of the Pro Artist refillables. And I'm just getting a kind of blendy brush and I'm working this into my crease as a transition shade. And then I'm using the Secret Rose eyeshadow palette, and I'm using this colour here, which is kind of like a mauvey brown colour. I don't know if that's the right word. And I'm just kind of working that in under that colour. And then I'm using this kind of lighter pinky shade with a little bit of glimmer in it. And I'm just kind of packing that onto the base of my eyelid with my finger. And I will blend it just a tad. And now I'm using this eyeshadow. This is one of their mono eyeshadows. It's Nude 207. And I'm just working this into my outer third. And it is quite a glimmery, coppery colour. And I'm also just going to blend that just a little bit. Then I'm getting this kind of white colour in the Secret Rose palette, and I'm just working this under my brow bone. It does have a tad bit of glimmer in it, so it's going to kind of highlight your brow bone as well at the same time. Then I'm using this highlight colour. This is 03 of the refillables, and I'm also adding some more shimmer to my brow bone with this. Then I'm using this kind of goldy coloured mono eyeshadow, and this one is Nude 206. I'm just packing a little bit of that onto the base of my eyelid, kind of more in the inner corner area. And again, blending it a little bit. And that's pretty much my eyeshadow done. Then I'm using the Curl Mascara, and I'm just doing my top lashes with this. I am curling them beforehand. And honestly, this is a pretty good mascara for the price. I believe it's only £2. And you'll see in a second, but it does actually give quite a lot of volume and length. I honestly think it's pretty decent for the price, and it worked really well with this look, I think. There you go. So we're going to move on to the base now, and I'm using their concealer palette. I think it's the light to medium one, and I'm using this kind of peachy salmony coloured concealer, and I'm just kind of putting this under my eyes to kind of correct the kind of purple tones. Then I'm going in with the green colour in the same palette, and I'm just going to use this on any kind of areas where I've got redness, which will be like blemishes, and also on my nose, and I'm just kind of colour correcting those areas. Then I'm using their Pro Matte Longwear Foundation in 02, and I'm just packing this in all on my face. This is a pretty good colour match for me, and honestly, again, this is a £2 foundation, and I honestly think it's really good for the price. It's not the best ever, but for the price it's good. And I'm using the Pro HD Longwear Concealers. One is in porcelain and one is the white one, and as you can see I mixed them on the back of my hand and made a perfect colour match, and I'm just kind of packing that in on areas where I need extra coverage, under my eyes as well. And then I'm going to set all of that in place with their powder. I think this is the Pro HD Translucent Powder, and I'm literally just setting my entire face so that we're nice and mattified. Then I'm using their Pro Strobe Kit, and I'm using the lightest kind of contour shade. I am just kind of lightly contouring my cheekbones with a kind of flat top contour brush. Just kind of brushing that through there and blending it. Then I'm using their Blush and Bronze palette, I think this is called, and I'm using their kind of glimmery bronzy colour in this, and again I'm just dusting that through my cheekbones and blending it slightly. Then I'm using this highlight shade in the Strobe palette. This is actually a really pretty highlight. It's not like the most dramatic ever, but it is really pretty. And I'm just putting that on my cheekbones, my nose, my cupid's bow and my chin, and blending slightly. And now I'm using the Duo Brow Powder in Ebony. I did have to use a clear gel just to brush through my brows to start with, but Freedom doesn't do one, so I just used something else. And yeah, I'm just putting that brow powder over my brows, and I had to again set it with a clear gel. If Freedom had a clear gel, I would have used theirs, but I had to use just a Rimmel one. I'm going back in with one of the eyeshadows I started with, that is Nude 207, and I'm just packing that on under my lash line, just for some symmetry, and blending it just a little bit. And then I'm going in with this colour from the Pro Highlight palette. It's just a really like icy white highlight. And I'm just packing this onto my inner corners. And that's really pretty colour. And I'm also putting a bit of it under my brow bone. I'm going back in with the Curl Mascara, and I'm just finishing off my lashes, doing the bottom ones. And that's pretty much the eyes done. And we're going to finish off with lips, and this is the Pro Melts Lip Gloss in Neutral. These are kind of liquid lipsticks, but they obviously have a glossy finish, so I'm not a huge fan of glossy ones. I do like the colour of this though. So to kind of mattify it, I'm using the HD Pro Finish Powder. This is a loose one. I'm just packing some of the powder into my finger and like passing it into my lips. This is just kind of going to get rid of the gloss and keep it mattified. So that is the finished look. As I said, it's quite natural and I actually really like it. I think this is a really pretty look. And it just shows you that Freedom's a really good brand because I pretty much liked all of the products I used. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you in my next one.